Привет, друзья! Как дела? My name is Fedor, and today you will learn a crucial rule in Russian, without which you cannot make proper sentences. And that rule is gender of nouns. In Russian, all objects have a gender. Imagine that. This t-shirt has a gender. This microphone has a gender. My nose has a gender that's different from my lips, for example, okay? Everything has a gender. And in Russian, four things will be affected by the gender of nouns: nouns themselves, verbs, adjectives, and numbers. But nouns will be the leader of that pack. Nouns will set the tone, but verbs, numbers, and adjectives will follow. They will mimic the gender of that noun. For example, limon for a lemon. Limon is masculine. If we use an adjective to describe limon, let's say красивый лимон, beautiful lemon. Because limon is masculine, красивый is masculine too. Let's take a verb. Лимон упал. Lemon fell. Упал here is also masculine because limon is masculine. And then один лимон, one lemon. Один is also masculine because limon is masculine. So limon, the noun, will set the trend. The rest will follow. But how can you tell a gender of a noun? How do I know that limon is masculine? Well, we simply look at the very last letter. Here's a table for you. It's masculine if it ends on a consonant. It's feminine if it ends on a or ya, a being the most common. It's neuter if it ends on or ye, and it's plural if it ends on I or I. Look at the very last letter of the word. Now let me see if you can retain this information in your head. A word, стена, a wall. Which gender is стена? Стена is going to be feminine because of this ending. What about море, the sea? Which gender is море? Море is neuter because it has a ye at the end. And lastly, what about the word мышь for a mouse? Which gender is мышь? Мышь is going to be feminine, but this one is the trick question. We didn't learn the words that end on the soft sign. Which gender are those words? Trick question for you. Well, words that end on the soft sign, we cannot predict their gender. There's no way of us knowing just by looking at a brand new word. But most commonly, we're going to have them to be feminine, like мышь is feminine. Sometimes they're going to be masculine, and in very rare occasions, they might be neuter. If you see a word that you don't know yet, like мышь for example, just guess it to be feminine. You're going to be correct more often than not. And another exception to this rule of gender, of telling a gender, is real people. The gender of an actual person or a living thing trumps this rule of the endings in Russian. For example, дедушка, grandfather. Dedushka ends on a here, but dedushka is going to be masculine because it describes a male person. Same with papa, for example, dad, same exact thing. Dядя, uncle. It should be feminine because it ends on a ya, but it's masculine because it describes an uncle. Okay? And that's it for the theory of Russian gender. The best way to master this concept and to look at a word and tell a gender like this is through exercise that we have a ton of on our BFluent class platform. Check it out with the first link in the description if you want to truly master this topic. And never forget all this theory that we have learned, but more importantly, apply it in practice successfully. Join us with the first link in the description. Next, how do verbs get affected by this gender in Russian? Verbs in Russian get affected by the gender only in the past tense. For example, let's take a verb играть, right? Masculine would be играл, feminine играла, neuter играла, and plural играли. Depending on the gender, we'll have a different ending, but only for the past tense. For the present, for the future, it doesn't matter. So we simply take a look at the noun that we're describing, see its gender, and then we choose the right form of the verb in the past tense. I can say, я играл на гитаре. I played a guitar. Because I'm a guy, I use a masculine form word. Я играл. Моя мама играла на пианино. My mom played on the piano. Играла has a la ending because it's feminine. Okay, hope that makes sense. It's gonna work in the same exact way with other verbs as well, not just with играл, играла, etc. Смотреть to watch, читать to read, etc. All other verbs will work in the same exact way. Now let's move on to how adjectives get affected by the gender. Adjectives will describe nouns. And so it's obvious that they have to follow the form of the noun. And we can make the same exact table for adjectives too. Masculine – красивый, feminine – красивая, neuter – красивая, plural – красивые. So again, depending on the gender of the noun this word is describing, choose one of these forms. I can say, какая красивая картина. What a beautiful painting. Какое красивое море. What a beautiful sea. So we change the form of, like this right here is красивое for neuter because море is neuter too. The adjectives will kind of mimic the gender of the noun that they're describing. And finally, numbers. How do numbers change depending on the gender? In Russian, only two numbers get affected. Is 1 and 2. For masculine, 1 is один, 2 is два. But for feminine is одна and две. Masculine, in fact, will take on a default form of the numbers. So it's truly only the feminine one, одна and две, get changed. Masculine is just used here for reference for you, okay? We can say один стакан, 1 cup, одна тарелка, 1 plate. As you can see, одна here is used because тарелка is feminine. But that's really it about Russian gender, and the best way to master this concept of gender for a good long time is with exercise right here. We have a ton of exercise on BFluent class. Join us and practice this gender telling in Russian with exercises. Or keep on watching our YouTube videos with this next video.